Welcome to Teacher International Conference 2025. Teaching English with Teachers in an Artificial Intelligence World. Hosted by Ho Chi Minh City University of Foreign Languages, Information Technologies. Our research topic is Virtual Tutors in English Language Learning at University, a Teacher Perspective, a case study at the Academy of Policy and Development. Group's authors are Tống Hương Tâm and Nguyễn Hưng Bình are from the Academy of Policy and Development, Vietnam. Our presentation including introduction, literature reviews, results and findings, and the last one is conclusion about our research. So we know that the integration of artificial intelligence in education has brought significant transformation to the field of teaching English to speakers of other language. It is teacher, especially in higher education context. Despite the rising adoption of virtual tutors in language learning, limited research have addressed the specific challenges encountered by teacher learners in Vietnamese universities when interacting with these technologies. Students at the Academy of Policy and Development, APD, like many non-native English learners, are expected to develop high levels of language proficiencies to meet academic and professional demands. However, their engagement with virtual tutors is often self-directed. And existing studies often emphasize the technology affordances of virtual tutors but overlook how these tools function in localized contexts, where infrastructures constraint learner readiness and pedagogical integration vary significantly. As a result, there is a need for context-specific inquiries into how university students at APD experience and perceive the use of virtual tutors, what barriers they face, and how these tools influences their autonomies in English language acquisitions. And there are many apps like Duolingo, Erasmus, ChatGPT belongs to digital transformation for students to practice using. We can see that AI in the education plays important roles like intelligent tutors systems, automated rating and assessment, chatbots and virtual artificial curriculum planning, learning analysis, and content recommendation. So based on AI, lectures can vary their planning and teachings. Besides, learner autonomy is also emphasized because it helps the learners recognize and make a circles in their learnings. So in that areas, we can see many problems and even past and current efforts. We can see, we can find, and we can conduct a research in specific context in APD. Because we can see many studies have done, but limited study on AI tutors in Vietnam. And we want to emphasize the importance of learner autonomy and we need for context-specific research. Our research objectives are investigate how teacher learners use virtual tutors and examine their influence on learner autonomy. And we emphasize on our research questions, what challenges do teacher learners face with virtual tutors and how do virtual tutors influence learner autonomy? In literature review, we want to emphasize AI integration in teacher, learner autonomy, and online learning challenges. So intersection of virtual tutoring, artificial intelligence, and teacher has drawn increasing scholarly attention as higher education adapts to digital transformation. Numerous studies have investigated challenges in online learning, learner autonomy, and AI integration in English instruction. This review synthesized key research to highlight relevant findings, identify gaps, and justify the current study on how virtual tutors affect teacher learners' experiences and autonomy's academy policy and development. And we can find some key literature scholars like Dong related to online teacher education, Dương and Nguyễn related to AI in Vietnam, and Paula in EFL autonomy, and Miriam in online tools. While prior research highlights the potential of digital tools in enhancing English language learning autonomy, few studies have specifically focused on AI-based virtual tutors within university-level teacher context. Gaps remain in understanding learner challenges and the roles of virtual tutors in promoting autonomy, particularly in Vietnam. Therefore, this study is essential to address the gaps and provide targeted insights for improving virtual tutor integration in teacher education. Uh, when we identify the research gaps, we can design with research to mix study quality and quantity, and the content is teacher study at IBD. The participants and instruments in our research is 100 students with 2 surveys and 20 students with 2 interviews. We focus on usage, challenges, and autonomy. Related to data analysis, we use quantitative to describe source, and qualitative, we use thematic analysis. The findings show that the tool usage frequently most used by ChatGPT, ELSA, and Duolingo. Speaking improved 61% and writing improved 54% and high adoption rates. However, there are challenges related to digital literacy gaps, misunderstanding AI feedback, low motivation, and context mismatch. Because during applying language into different apps, students also have to meet the drawbacks because the digital literacy gaps related to vocabularies, context, phrases, and specialized words. And sometimes we misunderstanding AI feedback because they feedback directly, but sometimes, in fact, students may not understand all the content and may not understand all the context. And low motivation, when students have to face difficulties, they sometimes they feel tired and they feel bored and they may adopt and they may stop study. And related to context mismatch, sometimes they understand the vocabularies but they can apply and they do not understand the real meaning of the words in the context. The results also show the learner autonomy indicators. We can see that 75% self-paced learning, that means they can follow the pace of study, they can improve themselves, and they can find out. They have to learn for themselves and by themselves. And 75% more self-study. So after study and they get results, they want to continue their study in that way. And 66% increase confidence because of getting more knowledge, getting more language, and getting more vocabularies, grammars, words, phrases in context. So they feel more confidence. Related to interviews in science, we can see that more flexibility appreciated because the student can select suitable words in different situations and the need for localized content. So if they recognize the context, they know how to use language and motivation phase without guidance. Even they are motivated, but if they are not guided enough and they do not get good instruction, so sometimes they also miss understanding and technical barriers exist. We know that sometimes it study with AI also depends on different aspects like electricity, internet, and maybe some other aspect outside related to the time and the motivation inside themselves, so they can solve the problems and they have to face with difficulties. In conclusion, we can see that virtual tutors promote autonomy, even have challenges hinder full effectiveness, and it supports integration are needed. Related to theoretical contribution, we can add to teacher and AI literatures and explore digital tools and learner autonomy in Vietnamese higher education. Through our research, we can give some recommendation. Digital literature training blended AI with teacher support and localized content for learners. So to make the virtual tutors in English language learning effectively, we have to help for digital learner literature training, not only for teachers but also for students. And teachers and lecturers are always available to be to support students to study and localized content for learners. So we can narrow the context for learners to recognize and learn effectively. We would like to acknowledge ABD management and faculty and participating students for to conduct our study and supporting organization from hopefully. If you have any questions and recommendation, please contact me, Tống Hương Tâm, PhD. Our telephone numbers is +84 921 664 784 and our email is tonghoongtam@abd.edu.vn. Thank you for the attention.